Watch all this cross traffic. Oh gosh. Oh, well, we ended somebody. Oh man. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your brash brigadier. Yes, it were up here on the right. We are playing Wreckfest in the career mode, specifically the challengers subsection of that mode. I'm your host with the most, TheChronicToast, and we're going to be diving on in with something very, very special today. We are doing an 8-race series. That is right, Demolition Racing Series, getting smashed, 8 race events, 800 maximum points, which if we do good in this, should allow us to fill that bar up top to the 2200 and get to the next series in the career mode. I am really, really excited. So, oh man, to this is a lot of fun stuff, and I'm really excited to do well here in these 8 races so we can unlock the next series. I'm really stoked about that. So make sure the difficulty over here is on half off, half an expert. The AI we want to be, a challenge. And in terms of the suspension, just to get this thing to do anything useful, we're switching over to be fully soft. That way we have the most forgiving ability with that quirky back end from doing anything odd. Gear ratio will leave in the middle. Differential is locked, just trying to get it to go. If we switch it over to here, you do get a boost on cornering, theoretically on the stat, but again, it just gets more, it just doesn't handle that well in terms of how it decides to hook up. So this is going to be a handful. And this could lead to some really catastrophically sad moments in this race where we lose out on points and position. But we're going to go for it. So, oh man, it sounds good. There it is. Oh man. Now, again, we're not going to try to drive through people. We're not going to be doing that until we can get to some of the higher series where you can just kind of use them as brakes and do follow-on corner bombs. We're still trying to approach this as like the banger style racing. And so, rubbing is racing, that's fine, but I'm not going to be getting in here and just ending cars by driving through them. That's not our goal at all. You can see these rammers up here are giving us a huge run for our money. Now, again, we are down low, which does not help us out that much. We hook up a little bit here and dive on in. That will get us a bit more. There we go. Already, this thing doesn't quite want to hold a drifting line with that back end stepped out. Sometimes it slides in, sometimes it hooks. It's just really, really odd. The rear end of this car just does not play reliably. And it will catch you out if you are not careful time and time and time again. Starfall is someone that we went up against a challenge with not too long ago in the last session, last episode as it were. Give him a little bit of extra speed going into the corner here. We are not racing them for position. Oh my gosh. There are cars everywhere. Absolute chaos. Absolute carnage. Oh, cars going wrong way around. Mini's doing bad things. Oh, boy. We just need to stay out of trouble. Here we go. Last lap. Starfall on the outside. Someone behind us. Oh, man. Die Hard is not too far back behind us. So, ooh, boy. Whatever's going on there, that looked dangerous. But this car, for the most part, handled all right. 14.234 seconds. And it was not the fastest time. Die Hard, who gave us a run for the money in a rammer, 50 points below us, by the way. I got the fastest lap time there. And Rammer, El Matador, Rammer, Dominator, Grand Duke of all things. There's a lot of good vehicles here, for sure. So let's hit that ability to go forward, and let's see what the rankings are here in the standings. My guess is the split between first and second is going to be 20 points, and it is. So potentially you have a situation where you're going to be 140 points between first and second place alone if, myself and Digital just continue to stay here. So there's a lot of opportunity for these points to swing wildly depending on how well we perform. So it's something to keep in mind. But ladies and gentlemen, oh man, boys and girls, buckle on up. Avert your gaze because the huge Manadine chaos is going to happen, which is Crash Canyon. Oh man. This is exciting. I'm really stoked about this. This is going to go potentially wrong in so many ways. This is going to be a lot of fun. And we are back in the middle of the pack, as it were. Beautiful mini back there. It's a little speed freak, which is pretty cool. Here we go. Power on down. Again, we're not going to try to drive through people, but we do want to get through this. Oh, man. Jaded Rabbit, what are you doing? We're getting turned. So much chaos. All it takes is a car to get slightly sideways. And, okay, sure. We'll drive on oncoming traffic. Why not? We'll try to cut back into our lane here at the end of it. There we go. Now, I would like to finish well, but I'd settle for the top 5. Realistically, top 10 would be okay. Because right here, because of on these corner exits, you can make up a lot of time. But you can get caught up on a lot of stuff, too. It works that way as well. Completely in your favor. And for anyone that's curious, yes, I am recording the commentary on this live as I'm actually playing, which makes it difficult to talk and race. Oh, that jump really got us out of whack there. But, you know, we recovered. We did all right. Shine and Venom is up here. This is a highly rated car. 200 rated series car. And, oh, they just got taken out. Ick, ick, ick. Just like that, we're in first place. Now, we should be able to walk away with this if we're careful. But that being said, dealing with lap traffic and other cars coming out of corners, you can get T-boned and pinned into a wall and lose all of the time that you just made. For example, second place is not that far behind us. Oh, look at all that chaos over there. Oh, that track is mostly clogged. Oh, man. That is... Oh, man, so many dead cars. Oh, my goodness. Ick, ick, ick. The back end is doing weird stuff right there. I'm not really sure what the limited slip differential is doing there. Let's just navigate these cars. Here we go. Oh, gosh. Kicking it around. Here we go. Yeah, once you kind of just change your banking here, the back end does weird stuff that other cars just don't really do. That's what the Wild King is about, is a wild, wild ride. Not quite as sure. Oh, man. There is so much chaos, so much catastrophe, and the Magic Yeti is behind us. Not that far away, but enough to cause problems if we're not careful. Oh, boy. There's cars over... There's cars coming into our lane. Looks like they took themselves out. That's all right. Magic Yeti is trying to catch up to us. We'll try to stay up here on the top end side. That's a little better. That's a little better. And then just suddenly it stops. The back end is drifting the way that I want, and all of a sudden it just hooks up for no reason. Or it just suddenly just breaks free and stops drifting and acts like it's not locked. The Wild King, man. This car will keep you on your toes no matter what you do. If anyone out there has a really good setup for the Wild King to make it behave somewhat predictably, please let me know. This car is just, let's just say it's an adventure. It's a handful. Every time you try to get to grips with this thing, it is different every single time. But that's part of what makes the challenge the way that it is. In a straight line, this thing is a lot of fun. In corners, ooh, maybe depending on your definition of fun, it does different things. Like, for example, there, the back end just popped up rather than just, taking the impact like it had on most of the other portions of the track. It's just weird. It's got a mind of its own. It's like it rolls the dice or something is weird with the suspension back there, which might be a 4-bar link suspension. I don't know. Trying to navigate our way through here and not get caught up too much in the wrecks. There we go. Whoo! 34.377. And that was not the fastest lap. But look at all those DNFs. Only 5 cars running at the end of the day. The question is, what is that going to do for the competition coming after us in the standings? It probably has shook it up quite a bit. Let's go see what it looks like and see how that rolls. Quite a bit, actually. Magic Yeti. Now, to be honest, Digital Harder, the Magic Yeti, Rapid Hair, they've all done relatively well, so they're not that far behind. But again, they have not gotten their, they haven't done that bad. They haven't gotten their finishes that close to each other. So we do have a 70-point advantage. And depending how it goes in Bonebreaker Valley, again, this is a track that we haven't seen yet in this episode, but I have raced on previously. And this one is a lot of fun. And things can go horribly wrong because all these jumps up here and crossovers, oh man. We have to drive smart and avoid collisions, and we will do all right. If this was a 3-lap race, I'd be quite a bit more concerned. But since it is 6 laps, a lot of carnage is going to ensue by then. We're going to hang out here to the right. Oh, man, we are already getting rubbed into here. Oh, Lord Raiden. getting knocked around already. We already have our suspension damage. We're just going to feather that throttle and hammer it home. Here we go. Oh, man. Clear sailing. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. First place. Not too shabby. Now, we just have to keep an eye on this. Watch the cross traffic, and we should be all right. Fingers crossed, toes crossed, eyes crossed, but never the streams. Never cross the streams. Should be all right. This thing sounds like it's got a supercharger on it. That's what it sounds like. You get on the throttle, and if you kind of get that whine. Let's see if we can hear it. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. But there we go. Lap 3. We're starting on out of 6. Oh, man. The Magic Yeti's not far behind us. I mean, they're doing good. Absolutely doing good. Just going to watch all this cross traffic. Oh, gosh. Oh, well, we ended somebody. Oh, man. And that's it. We've lost our left front wheel. Gosh. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Bad things have happened. Slam on the brakes, try to get the car to turn and do stuff, and it just did not work well. Now, we are going to be turning left for everything from now on out, simply because we're too dangerous and too hard to turn right. That left front brake calipers are just going to drag on in. Gillivar, nope. Do not want to go that way. Oh, man. There we go. There we go. Mac is up there doing stuff. We got someone called Something Lips up there in 7th place just behind us. We are in bad shape. Do not want. Oh, man. This car is just a handful. We were just trying to survive at this point. We were doing so well, and we got caught up in that cross traffic. Hit the e-brake. Get the car into a slide. There we go. There we go. Get some power down at least for a little bit there. There it is. Oh, my goodness. So much chaos. So much bad stuff here. Cars missing their whole front halves. I'm pretty sure Jella here had a full car earlier. Oh, gosh. Nope. I don't want to go this way. Oh, no. Come on, man. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Now we can't turn. We're having difficulty turning. I guess we're going this way now. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, bad stuff can happen. The crossover tracks, I really enjoy. They're a lot of fun, but the risks are not inconsequential. Absolutely not. Oh, and just like that, we got wrecked. Just like that. Trying to turn with one wheel is not beneficial. 30.56. And we did finish in 10th, so it's not the absolute worst thing. But we just lost a lot of points. We just lost a lot of points. Holy wow. Let's go see what it is. We're still at first, but the Magic Yeti did a good job catching up. Oh, man. Well, let's go dive into the Dirt Devil Stadium, as it were then. This is a really big rhythm track. This should be a lot of fun. Again, though, depending on how this goes, some of these whoop-de-whoops can get clogged up pretty bad. There we go. Let's just kind of feather it, perfect throttle, and hammer down. There we go. Now, there's some really cool ways you can maintain increased speed through this rhythm track, and it mostly involves with being in clean traffic, not bottled up with all the AI in the cars here. And usually hugging to the outside, which is pretty cool. Oh, man, excuse me. Woo! Getting a little bit of the hiccups just thinking about all this stuff here. There we go. Oh, that's a hard hit. Oh, gosh. Slightly off the track there. Not good. Tire sale. Free tires. Oh, man. Digital. Why? Why would you do that? You were doing so good. You were racing so good. Yeah. Oh, man. It is a rough crowd today. Rough crowd. Sure. We'll go this way. Why not? You want to push us over that way? We'll go this way. I just want to get to the front of the pack here. Just trying to stay away from all this stuff. Now, if you try to go here, you're going to go for a Sky Whale adventure. We don't need to go vertical. It's all right. Jack lost. Yedmore doing all right. There is Digital up there. I don't know why he had to go in and... Or she. We don't know. We don't know why they had to go in there and put us in the wall. But here is what you can do. Here on the right-hand side, you don't get airborne. You keep your wheels on the ground for the most part. And you can... Oh, boy. You can get in there and do some really good stuff. Now, I'm not doing a full send here. I want to keep all my wheels attached to my car. It's very, very painful if you lose wheels, as we found out last time around. Oh, and of course, that is not what we wanted to do. I was watching the accident ahead of us and got into one ourselves. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. Just to maintain points, we just got to take it easy. If we do much more damage, we're going to lose some more wheels on this vehicle. And ladies and gents, I believe you can probably appreciate how difficult that was based on the last time we had that happen. Now, that being said, we are in 4th position. So that means there's a lot of chaos going on up here. Oh my gosh, there's more cars. So many dead cars. All right, we're going to want to stay on the right-hand side to avoid all that carnage. Pop the e-brake. We're going to stay on the right-hand side if we can. Look at that traffic up there. Oh, man, and they did what we did. They caught the bad carnage, the bad car wrecks up there, and the post. Ugh, all the pain. Coming up here to take the beginning of lap 5. Looks like someone up there has lost a wheel. That we might be for position, but I doubt it. Here we go. And hang at the right side. Stay away from all these car corpses up there. Now, you could try to ride this wall up there, but you see those blue and yellow tire stacks? Yeah, those don't move. So that is going to be very painful if you hit those for sure. So keep that in mind. Again, we're going to hang out here on the right-hand side. Looks like that road up there is fully blocked otherwise. Oh, this is going to take a hot minute to navigate. First place position, that part of the track is fully blocked almost. Well, we're going to use that to our advantage. We're going to get up here and try to maintain our lead. The only one that can ruin this for us is us now or someone else that is stuck in some carnage. We get a little bit too greedy, a little bit too fast, and a little bit too close. So, Pecan Kiki here. It's really, they're down a wheel, I'm pretty sure. They're down a wheel. I really don't want to tangle them too much, but I need to get through here. Oh my gosh, very carefully. Oh, man. And there we go. Stay on the track and power down. There it is. Look behind us. Yeah, we're clear. There's only 2 of us left. Looks like Y4K and ourselves. And this is the last lap. There it is. Wow, what a brutal track. What a brutal track. And they were in a speedy too, a little tiny mini knockoff. The Magic Yeti, though, for all intents and purposes, did rather well in fourth place. For sure. Got a spoiler, which is pretty cool. Always a nice part to have. Get some nice visual changing here. The standings, we're doing really good. We're 95 points ahead of the Magic Yeti. Looks like we're back to a bit more of a traditional racetrack. So we got to keep on top of this to maintain our points lead. But I think we'll handle this just fine. I think it'll absolutely work out just fine in our favor. We just got to be cognizant of what we're doing, where we're racing, and how to keep the car on the track. Again, the Wild King, especially under high-speed corners, does not handle consistently. It's hard to expect and anticipate what it's going to do. Here we go. We got lips up ahead of us up there. Watch out for the inner guardrail. Just touched it ever so slightly. There we go. There we go. That's all right. And oh man, oh yes. Watch out for the inside. We don't want to roll the car. 6th place position. Lord rating ahead of us. We're doing all right. The car is not oof. Sorry, buddy. That was unintentional. The car is not really getting the back end to break free consistently the way that I want. Again, it's a common complaint. We talked about it for a little bit, but we're handling this car. We're making it work. I think a top 3 finish is probably realistic for what we're looking at here, especially given that this is a 6-lap race. I think that's okay. Digital's up there, and they're a fast car, and it's just a matter of can we get a clear enough track, try to then begin tackling the consistency of the Wild King to make it work. Especially with cars doing things like that, we should get some opportunities to try to maneuver. Again, I would love to get up here above Shinin' if we can. We are able to kind of put the power down on the straight and close the gap a little bit, but just because of the way the back end of this car handles, it's being difficult trying to get it through these corners with any sort of speed. Yeah, we kind of set ourselves up for that. It's all right. It's not a big deal. Here we go. No traffic. Here we can get some extra speed rolling on through here. Get some speed going through the air. There it is. Hit the e-brake. Pop it over. Grip the throttle, tap the brake, trying to get it to turn without running into that hammerhead there. And not really closing the gap. We might be able to a little bit more here, but we aren't losing speed. We're not losing positions either. There we go. Oh, someone went a little bit wide up there. And they'll be racing side by side, which could be to our advantage. It looks like there's a rammer in first place, which is not a surprise. There we are. We have finally run into the Kobayashi. Which reminds me of the Kobayashi Maru. Oh, man. I don't want to take him out. Don't want to roll my car either. So we have swapped positions. The hammerheads have a tendency for the back end to step out. And if you can feather the throttle and do good, you can get some really good lines. But if it gets too sideways, you start losing. Oh, gosh, Axar, where'd you come from? If you're not careful, you can lose the lines that you've got. Oh, we went in a little hot on that. Oh, we're gonna suffer on our exit. There it is. Kobayashi's coming back on up and getting on the inside line. Axar just took himself out. Oh man, they were not happy with us at all. No way were they happy with us. That was unfortunate. As a side effect, we just lost 2 positions. Oh gosh. I think we just got him back. Holy wow, that was painful to watch. That was probably, if those were real racers, that was probably someone that got hurt. That was in real life, so. We're going after a Speedy, which is basically the Mini equivalent. These are very stable, very maneuverable, very fast cars, especially if they're if they punch well above their speed rating, but they aren't very durable. So if they do get back in the middle of the pack and they get some damaging on them, they lose parts relatively quickly, and that's why a lot of times when you're racing against AI, you don't see them finishing very high unless they're able to get out front. And for us right now, Y4K managed to get out front, and here they are again, just walking away with it. So Digital got into first, Y4K coming into third. Someone came in second. We'll take a look who that is. We got ourselves in fourth, which is respectable. 37.628 on the clock. 2 seconds slower than there. And they're shining in second place with the sweeper. So here is the question. Hot junk derby sign. Not too shabby. I like it. Here's the question is where we are in the standings. We should be tied up, if not in second place. Ugh. Getting there. If Digital finishes well, they're going to close the gap. Now, right now, we do have a 70-point gap. It's more than I thought that we had. But I think we can make it work. We're going into Fire Rock Raceway, which isn't our strongest position, but we can probably make this work sufficiently well to maintain enough of a points lead going into these last few races that will be okay. But the big question I have is for all of you ladies and gents that are out there that have played this game, and specifically have played this racing series, how did you do? What difficulty settings were you on? What car did you use for this? And what were some of the strongest points of your effort? And where were some of those parts that you fell short? For us right now, it's the handling of the car and trying to be consistent. It's very, very difficult. And it is what it is. But we're going to dive on in. We're going to do our best. This is mostly entirely all tarmac, I think. So we'll see how the Wild King handles with the locked rear end. I have some concerns. We'll see. It's again 6 races, so we might be able to use that just by attrition is the word I'm looking for. The AI is going to thin themselves down a little bit, but it's also a track that you can't get into a lot of trouble on. We have a lot of power. We can get on the outside, but again, the cornering is going to be the difficult part. I'm going to try not to drive through people. Unfortunately, it does sometimes happen. Oh, gosh. There we go, man. I do not want to drive through you. That would just be completely unsportsmanship, and honestly, it's a little cheap. I want to try his race as clean as I can, in full knowledge that Rubbin's racing, and that'll be all right. And there's Jack Lost up there. I'm going to hit the brakes a little too soon and a little too late. Get into the throttle here. There we go. Now, normally the track goes to the right up there, and it's a full series of energy saving maneuvers. The better you get those corners, the better things are going to be. Right now, though, I don't know. It's working out all right, but we are not catching Jack Lost at all. We are consistently in second place right now. We have Lord Rating behind us and Chris AFH behind him. No idea where some of our competition is at, but we're going to keep racing and do the best that we can no matter what we do. We're going to keep trying to move forward. Someone's having a bad day. DeCop over there in the Mini slowed down Jack Lost enough that we can finally catch up to him. Getting into the corner, our back end stepped out into the dirt a little bit there, unfortunately, but hey, it's got us sideways, thankfully in the way that was useful. The question is, what car is this? This is not a Rammer, and it's not ringing a bell for me at all. That might be a Star Beast? I don't know. It's hard to say. But, ladies and gents, if you know what your favorite vehicles are in the game for Wreckfest, please post them in the comment section down below. I'd love to kind of see, why you like those cars or trucks or whatever the vehicles are. Is it because of the speed, the capability? Is it because of the styling? Let me know in the comment section down below. Man, does Jack Lost have fire? Oh gosh. Oh, if he didn't before, he probably does now. Oh, and I get slammed behind trying to avoid a wreck. Y4K, what are you doing, buddy? Oh, that was painful. That was really painful. Oh, man. Holy wow. I think for me, aesthetic-wise, one of the vehicles I like the most is the van. I think it's... I really, really enjoy it. It's not that great. Oh, my gosh. Y4K, just leave me alone. Don't need to keep trying to wreck my vehicle. It's all right. It's all right. As far as just pure raw power, I think the Road Cutter is surprisingly effective. I think it's a really solid platform. If you want to go fast, you can do some really good stuff with it, and I think it works out well. But as far as like things, as far as like car ornaments and things you can put on your vehicles and stuff like that, anything you can put a teddy bear in that looks cool, I'm a huge fan of. And as a result, the Thrasher, whatever the full size pickup truck is, it's not the Mud Digger. You can put stuff in the back of the truck though, which looks hilarious, which is a lot of fun. But ladies and gentlemen, we have Y4K up here, and of course the Magic Yeti, who we are racing for points, is closing in on us as well. I have no idea who Chris AFH is. I don't recall seeing that name up near the front of the race. For any of the races we run into before, and just put Y4K into the wall, who got into us trying to come back onto the track. Magic Yeti fighting for first place up here. Now, again, it's going to be 20 points if they take first and we take second, so they're going to close that gap. In the RR competition, we are 70 points ahead right now. So if I can finish ahead of Magic Yeti, that will be a net bonus. Oh, gosh. That will be a net bonus for us. But if we finish behind the Magic Yeti, let's just say they're going to start closing the gap on us. Now, they are right behind us. I think they got countered into that wall, which is not ideal. We are not faster than they are, at least consistently speaking. We might get a few laps in there, but again, I'm trying to turn left with this car, and it's just not working. It's just not working. Wrecking assist. Someone got wrecked hard somewhere. No idea who it was. Might have been that Mini. We'll see. Full power in. No need to brake. There it is. Woo! 20 points gain, pushing our lead to 90. Not too shabby. The Magic Yeti in the Dominator. That's a really, really decent vehicle for sure. Crimson wheels for the Rammer RS. Those should look fantastic. I've not seen those on a vehicle yet, so I think they should be pretty cool. Our last two races, Sandstone Raceway, going into the short course. We should do okay here. We should, fingers crossed, do okay. But you never know. The big thing with Sandstone is a big, big rhythm track. We've got the rating, the engine power, the speed for it, but if we're not careful and we get off track or we get turned, it's going to be very, very abrupt, rapid disassembly. Rapid, unexpected disassembly for sure. Now, we can't quite get in there ahead of them, because otherwise you get two in there and that wall comes up and bites you. Again, we're not going to drive through people. That's not our goal at all. We do want to get up front if we can. The longer you spend back in the pack, the more you're going to get just run into, turned, crushed in on. And especially on realistic settings, that can be very dangerous. Oh, sorry, Jaded Rabbit. Did not mean to run you off the road there a little bit. Again, I want to get close to these fence lines if we can to try to take advantage of tight cornering. But if we get too close, you could run into the situation where your car abruptly stops because the fence line suddenly juts on out. Now, this is a 6-lap race, which is good for us because it means that we can, slowly work through attrition on the AI. We're going to need it because right now we are not catching these individuals. Now, we were back in traffic a little bit, but, they're more well suited. We got Lord Raiden up front to really, get in here and hammer the throttle, hammer the brake, and do that stuff. I'm hopeful that we can get it, into second place, maybe third. So we'll see how it goes. But at the end of the day, consistency is king, and that's not quite what you're going to get with the Wild King. And even with it having a goofy paint job, for sure. So we're going to keep pedaling. We're going to keep pedaling, trying to get up here. Yard sale. Someone got off track. Oh, man. Fight with Kobayashi for position. We're on the inside. They're on the outside. They're going to have a bit more speed. Rather than go around us, they run through us. Here we go. Got the front end set. Got the back end going. Now we're going to try to make our moves on Shine. And as soon as we can get through them, probably to not this corner, but the next corner, if we're lucky. Get some speed. Oh, off track. Suspension does not do what we want it to do. Holy cow, that was dangerous. All right, so here we go. I'm braking a little bit here. Sometimes the way a suspension loads up, it just does not handle ideally, which is always an adventure no matter what way you look at it. Here we go. We're rolling around here. Y4K again. I'm curious on how poorly Y4K did in the first few races because we're seeing them consistently fighting us for position, and I don't think they're on the leaderboard. I probably missed it, but they've still got all their tires. I think they're hanging in there, doing some good stuff, turning us around. Oh, gosh. Get off us, Y4K. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, man. Lord Raiden decided, rather than racing, decided to take us out. That's unfortunate for them because they're a pretty decent AI driver with that car for the most part. There we go, flying on overhead, hammer down, going into the corner and braking. Always trying to get on the inside here without flipping the car. This is basically the corner falls away from you, so if you get too far to the outside, your car just continues to sail. Oh man, right in the curve, that is going to slow us down. Not good. But we're going to see. We're firmly in 5th place right now with Lips behind us. So these AI up front potentially are going to take each other out, or they're going to run into someone else that's a Dead Husk or a Hulk on the track. And we might get a position or two in the last 2.5 laps that we got here. But barring that, we're having difficulty catching them. So we're just going to kind of focus in here and see what we can do. World, Y4K is doing a good solid job. The big question is, where are they in the standings? And is it a little too little, a little too late? Let's go see what we have going on up here. I'm curious to see where they are in the standings. And we have our last race coming up. 8 races is a lot. Holy cow, ladies and gents. And Y4K has been climbing the ladder. They've got a 12th and a 19th, which really set them back quite a ways. And for us, we've been fairly consistent as well. The Magic Yeti's been doing fantastic. Fantastic. So this being said, we are more than 100 points away. So even if we finish in dead last going into this race, ladies and gentlemen, we will still come in first place. So with that, we're going to jump back in. We're going to give it our best shot. I'm not going to worry about it too much because of the way the points have worked out. This being race 8 out of 8, we've already cinched up the championship with that last finish. So we're going to go have some fun. We're going to try to make this work, and we'll see what happens. Here we go. Working to the outside, and here's a cool thing. You can usually cut the track here, kind of blow through all that fence line. If you don't do it up front, the AI will do it for you, and you'll start to see them using that line. Now, cutting that corner there is always a risk because, well, that concrete barrier, ooh, oh, someone went off the track. That concrete barrier do not give. It does not break. Your car just comes to a complete dead stop. Now, here's some interesting stuff. There's a lot of drifting here with the Wild King on this track, and which is, yeah, it's all right. But again, there's a lot to be desired. This car doesn't handle as well, but there is a lot of good, smooth sailing here with this track that even for the quirkiness of the back end, doing weird things just like that, for the most part, you can carry through some nice drifts. Now, if you're racing this track in the reverse of this configuration, this car does not work as well because the way that the track flows and the weight transfer is shifted, let's just say it's a bit more chaotic. Now, I'm not doing a fantastic job with this car and this particular moment. There's someone that found that immovable brick wall, but oh, and there is someone's just smashed up there, lost a wheel. Looks like they're unable to move. But yeah, I don't mind it. The track does really good. Now, what's hard to see here is there's no pedal and brake indicators. I am all the way around this track. I am just feathering the throttle and pumping the brakes nonstop just to get this thing to even somewhat smoothly go around the corners. It's because the back end will just want to just completely step out no matter what we do. Throw the gap. There we go. A lot of carnage. AI cars that are kind of left out and caught up in those turns and those choke points, they really start to cause other cars to get crashed, do damage to themselves and other cars, and it just kind of continues to snowball. It's very similar to the theory, I forget what the name of the theory is, where if one or two satellites has a giant impact collision in orbit, it could lead to just a continuous chain effect of just more and more debris impacting each other and being formed. Well, the same thing can happen here in Wreckfest with cars if you're not careful. Now, we're doing all right here. Kobayashi is, hanging in there. The Magic Yeti, I see them back there as well. That fantastic lady or guy driver AI of that car. Doing a solid job. Oh, the huge manatee. That looked absolutely painful and horrifying. We're going to pass them up here on the right-hand side. The wingman looks good in blue, I gotta say. The front of that car is just wrecked. And you can see most of our AI competition here has a lot of damage. And even if they were racing, yeah, just like that, we're going to be doing pretty well off. So if you do want a bit more of a challenge here for some of these cars, specifically in this 8-race series, I would recommend bringing the damage back from realistic to something a bit more stock or standard for the game. Not because it makes it more difficult for yourself as a racer and as a player, up against AI, but it makes the AI more likely to survive simply because they're not going to lose a lot of wheels and components and things like that. And they're going to be a bit more of a challenge, even if you leave them on expert. It's not quite the same way as most of the other races. And as a result, that would be my recommendation for sure. But here we go, racing across the line, winning the race that we did not need to win. 36.593. We got the fastest lap time. No surprise there. And a street camshaft for the Rammer RS. Now, that being said, we're going to come into first. That would be over 100 points for sure. And we only got one of the bonus targets. Unfortunately, it's a 635 out of 800. We are just shy of that 2200 mark. Now, ladies and gents, don't worry, no worries. In between this episode and next episode, so off screen, I'm going to go in and finish up a few of these little stragglers here to get that mark up to 2200. And when we do that, we're going to unlock the Pro Internationals, which I am really excited to dive into. So next episode, next series, next part of the series here in the career, we'll be diving into the Pro Internationals, which I'm really stoked about. It should be a lot of fun. And I'm curious to see how that goes. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for stopping on by and checking out yet another video here in the Wreckfest Career Series. And we will see you in the Pro Internationals next time. Have a good one.